Hi everyone, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday, and I'm a reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. And today we are talking what you need to get started as a reseller on eBay. Like, what items are you going to need? So we're talking scales and backdrops and computers and mailers and all that fun stuff. I'm going to show you everything that I use on a daily basis so you know how to get started. Let's just jump right into the video and see what I use on a daily basis, and everything will be linked down below. All right, so the first item I highly recommend is a decent scale. They don't have to be expensive when I say decent. This Accutech runs about $27, and this is my second scale, so I've already invested like $20 into a cheap one. This one may be about $7 more, but it is so much more worth it. This Accutech weighs up to 110 pounds, as you can see here, and it also has these little flaps that fold up that you can prop an envelope on it if you're needing to weigh something. It's just not sitting on the scale right. I don't use that feature a lot, but the other reason I use it is because it has this detachable monitor. It takes a second to pop on. It is plugged in, so you'll need electricity, but it does have a battery in it that you can use too. But the reason I love this feature about it is because I was trying to weigh big boxes on this scale on top of the table, and it wasn't getting accurate, not on this scale, on my old scale, and it wasn't getting accurate readings. So with this feature, I can move the scale down onto the floor, and I have this hook and looped to the counter. So I can move it around as I need to. And also the other feature I love about this is it shows the pound separate from the ounces, because my last scale only showed ounces. So I had, say, 105 ounces. I had to convert it to pounds, and it just took so much more time. Now I know exactly if it's 2 pounds, 2 ounces. So that's the best feature about this. And you can turn it on and off, which I always forget to turn on and off, so that's why the electricity comes in handy, because I would have the battery all used up. All right, my next item is tape guns. I use 2 of them now. I started with one, and the reason is because I was using clear tape, and then I started using eBay tape because it comes with your store coupon. You can use it to buy eBay tape. When you have a store, I get a $50 coupon every quarter, and I buy my tape through there as well as other items. So you really only need to start with one, and they're fairly reasonable. Like Duck Brand, I think, is only like $12 on Amazon. So it's fairly reasonable. And all these items I'm going to link in the description below, so you can just click on it and it'll bring you right to the actual listing. Then you'll need a tape measure. Any kind of tape measure will work. I think there's a simple Craftsman 25-foot one on Amazon that's $10, free shipping. You can't beat that. This is another version of a tape measure, which I like to use for clothing, and you can find these in your clothing departments, even at Walmart. I'm sure they have them. And the last item is not a necessity, but it's a tabletop dispenser. This one's XL227, I'm pretty sure, and it has a safety guard on it, and it suctions to the table, so it stays in place when I need it to stay in place. And I just like to use it when I'm taping up bubble wrap or something small and I need just a little piece and I'm trying to hold something down. It's convenient. It's not a necessity, but it sure helps. And if later on you can afford a $20 dispenser, that I will have linked as well in the description. While we're over here, I have a paper cutter, and this is not a necessity, but it makes my life a lot easier when I'm shipping Mercari items, because the labels have to be printed on a regular printer. So I use that, and I also use a heat gun to get labels off. Then over here, I use a lot of Ziplocs just to organize different items. If I have a lot of 2 or 3 things and they fit in a Ziploc, I will just store them that way. Sometimes I ship them in the Ziploc, so I have a variety of them. Then I have these clear poly mailers, or poly sleeves, I guess you want to call them. No, they're not poly. Clear sleeves, clear bags. And I get mine through Shop for Mailers. I have them in the different sizes. This one is a 9x12 and it runs $37 for 1,000 of them, and that will last you a long time. And this one is a 12 by 15.5. It's right under $20 for 100. And then this large size I get, it's 15 by 19, and it's $16.50 per 100 right now. Prices change all the time on Amazon, but these are the current prices. And the reason I get these big ones, which I only use once in a while, but I use it for big blankets or like large plush stuffed animals. This one I use for clothing almost all the time. Again, that's the 12 by 15.5. This one I use just for smaller stuff. So the most common one I would use is this middle size one. Then we have poly mailers, which are the outsides of what you would put. I put the clothing in this bag, and then I put it in one of these and mail it. So this one has the eBay logo on it, so that means I get it from my eBay supply store, and I usually use the coupon to get these, so I really don't pay anything for them. Sometimes it runs over the $50 mark and I have to pay the excess. Then I have a medium-sized one, which is about the same size as this. This fits mostly clothes, fits shirts easily. And then I have these that are plain. Now these I get on Amazon because they don't have this size usually on the eBay supply store. And these are 15 by 19 inch. And they're like, again, they don't say anything, they're just plain. And they have this peel and stick that sticks really good, even though I always run a piece of tape over the edge to finish it off to make sure it doesn't open. These run $24 per 100. Now I use these again for stuffed animals or big blankets. Then we have padded envelopes. I have 3 sizes of them, and then I get the free USPS ones that are flat rates. Right now it's $7.91 to ship in one of them. Whatever you can fit in there will be $7.91 to ship. Then I have various other boxes from USPS that are all free, and I have a video out on the different sizes that you can go back and watch, and you will need to order some of these to get started. I also have other boxes that I use, like these, that I get free from my husband's work, and these I paid $5 a bundle for. Just found it on Facebook Marketplace. Go back and watch my other video if you want to see the different sizes that are necessary just to get started. You'll need some kind of storage system. This is where I started. I got 3 shelving units, and they're black shelving, plastic. As you can see, they're starting to bow a little bit. Some of the Rubbermaids get kind of heavy, so you'll need Rubbermaids or boxes. If you can get free boxes that are all about the same size, that would work too. I fit 16 on these 2 shelving units, and the Rubbermaids don't quite fit in there. I kind of have to overlap them, as you can see, and it gets kind of frustrating. So for me, the silver metal shelving units work the best because these Rubbermaids fit perfect on them, and I get these at Lowe's. Or no, I'm sorry, Menards. So then I have a shelving unit just for storing the stuff that I've just purchased that needs to get listed. But the other items you're going to need are a computer and a printer. You need a phone or something to be able to list your stuff, which most of us have that already. You don't need any kind of fancy printer. It's just a regular printer that's probably $60 for the printer and $35 for the ink. So the last item I want to show you that would highly help you is a Rollo printer, a Dymo printer. It's a thermal printer basically. The thermal printer has saved my life because if I print 10, 14, 15 labels at a time, I would have to do it with this printer and it would use up a lot of ink. A thermal printer just uses heat and it heats the label. It kind of burns the image onto the label. This is at $180 right now, I think. When I bought it, it was 200 and something. So it's going down in price because it's becoming more popular. So that's not a necessity in the beginning, but it definitely is a heck of an improvement to my printing speed. While we're over here, if you sell jewelry, these are some items that I use for my jewelry. Of course, a ring sizer, and then here's some of the rings. I think they came together, so it was fairly cheap. This is a Presidium gem tester, which I love, love, love. If I can get close enough here. It shows different types of stones. If you're questioning if something's really a sapphire or diamond or ruby or citrine or amethyst, this will show you. I love this. It's not a necessity because it's over $200. We'll do a separate video on how to use that. And then this is just a jewelry magnifying glass. I can't remember what they call them. Sure helps when you're trying to read something small. Okay, so I said that was it, but I thought of one more thing. This is my makeshift light box. I am cheap, and when I started out, I didn't have a whole lot of money to invest in this. So I really haven't upgraded much on this. One thing that I do suggest is the light bulbs that you have in your light fixtures need to be LED cool light because the warm lights tend to make your background yellow. I'm still struggling because my background sometimes appears more reddish and I need it to be more white. I think I need ring lights, and I think that will help a lot. So right now I'm just using this microphone stand that I rigged this light on. It's a clamp light that goes on a table, and I put this gauzy material over it to diffuse it some. And I did that with all the rest of these too. Here's another clamp light on a easel with one of these work lights, but it's LED. Inside you can see it's LED. This one, since it has all these little lights, leaves little dots on the background, so I really had to diffuse that. And I have another one up there that I'm trying to bounce off the foam board. It's a challenge. This is probably one of the biggest struggles I have. But there's variations that you can use to get started, like foam board is really cheap. You could make a box with it. If you're doing small stuff, you could make a smaller box. I use this vinyl material that I got at Hobby Lobby that comes on a roll. I hung it up on a bar and on curtain hooks on the wall. I have it all the way rolled down to the floor. And it's great. It makes it bigger, so when I'm doing a coat or a dress or something, I have a bigger space. It would be great if you could just hang it straight for something like a dress or a long coat. But I do a lot more tabletop stuff, so I made it this way for my circumstance. And it's cheap enough, it just doesn't stand up, where foam board you can at least get it to stand up. So that's the extent of everything that I feel you need to get started. It sounds like a lot, but I did add in all the extras that aren't necessary. So hopefully this helps you. So that covers everything I use on a daily basis, but really there's 7 items that you need to actually get an item out the door once it's sold on eBay. The first item is a white backdrop of some sort, so you could use poster board, it's the cheapest. And then you need a computer or a phone. You can list from your phone if you need to, but a computer is always handy and it gives you a lot more details. And then you need a box to put the item in. You can either use a box or a poly mailer. Then once the item's in the box, you're going to need to pack it and pack it good. So you need bubble wrap or some kind of free packing anybody has packing, stores have packing. You can just ask for free stuff. You can always get started with that, and then you can start ordering bubble wrap as you need it. Then once the box is all packed, you need to tape it. So you either need tape and a tape gun, or you absolutely need the tape. You don't need to start with a tape gun, but it's really handy. And then you need to weigh it. So we've got to put the box on a scale and get the measurements so we can put it into eBay's system so it can generate the label. So then once the label is generated, you need to print it and put it on the box. So you need a printer. That's the 7th item. So that's the 7 items that are necessary to get your item boxed up and out the door to the customer. So all the items that we talked about today are linked down below in the description, and I hope this video helped you. If it has, hit the like button and subscribe, and also hit the bell notifications, and you'll be notified when the next video comes out. Thank you for joining me.